Well, good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, whatever your current life situation is. Hello, YouTube. It's Jeffrey Kite back again with another episode of Kite's Curiosities. Well, I'm about a month and a half late, but I did want to share with y'all the wonderful pickups that I got on Free Comic Book Day. That was held, I think it was the first weekend in May. Yeah, first Saturday in May, which is May 5th of this past year. So a lot of these things y'all have seen already, probably looked and examined these issues of other Free Comic Day videos, but I wanted to get mine out and just share my thoughts on some things and show y'all some pickups I made on some really nice comic book issues. Well, they're nice to me. Might not be nice to you, but they were nice pickups to me. Starting off, I got this one. This was from Free Comic Book Day. Seismic Stories. That's whole day. Seismic Stories. Pretty dark story. I mean, it has some really, like, woo, some over-the-top good gore in here. To me, it was. And some pretty twisted stuff. So if you like horror, that was a pretty good one to get. I also got this one. This one intrigues me a little bit. Star Trek Day of Blood. And I think it's going to be like a 4-part series, I think. Let's see, it lists the things in it. Has a real bloody battle scene in it. It was kind of intriguing there. I don't really know how to, it says Day of Blood 5-part crossover. So I guess Free Comic Book Day starts off this. And then July has Star Trek Day of Blood 1. Then August 2023, it's a 5-part crossover. August 2023, Star Trek Defiant number 6, Star Trek number 11. And then in September of 2023, Star Trek Defiant number 7 and Star Trek number 12. So I may pick these up. Again, I'm not into modern comics. The comics that I like to collect are comics from January of 1978 to December of 1991, which is basically from the time I was born until the time I turned 13 or so. That's just, you know, you have to cut it off at some point. December of 91 was the month before my 14th birthday, which when I got into high school, I kind of got away from a lot of comic book reading and things like that. You know, and so basically what I'm saying is you have to have a cutoff somewhere, or else you're going to drive yourself crazy. And modern books kind of aren't my thing, but every once in a while something strikes me as kind of intriguing, and I'll be like, I might give it a shot. This was one of them. The Star Trek Day of Blood. Not 100% sold on it. I'm going to keep an eye on it. If I pick some up, maybe be good. If not, no big deal. Picked up the Spider-Man Venom. This was a good story. I liked it. It introduced what I think is a new character, a guy named Flexo. And I'm not going to show you the books because I don't want to do spoilers or anything like that. But this Flexo guy, it was kind of intriguing how the symbiote has affected this new character, Flexo. It was okay. It was an okay story. Let's see. I got this one, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I got this because of the cover art, really. I mean, it was just classic Saturday morning cartoon vibe. The old animation, I liked it. I picked it up and I was like, yeah, I'll hold on to it. Was never a big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan growing up, but, you know, I picked it up just in case, you know, it turns into this, you know, big, hot, super collectible or something. That way I'll have it. I got this one, Uncanny Avengers, which was a pretty good story. Yeah, I liked it. It was okay. Not something I wanted to pursue, but it was a good story. Now, these next two are two issues that I decided I'm going to chase these because they were just fantastic to me. I was just drawn to them immediately when I saw them on the table, and I'm like, I gotta get these, which is surprising. Modern comics, like I said earlier, don't really impress me. But these really did. These were some intriguing books here. First one is Dawn of DC, Night Terrors. This just looks absolutely terrifying and just intriguing at the same time. It's just kind of like, this is, I mean, stuff like the stuff of nightmares, like people talk about. And I was reading it, I was kind of captivated by the story. And then I saw the checklist, and I was like, I mean, look at that. I got to get back way out of frame so y'all can see it. Look at that. That is wild. All those issues, all these tie-ins. Man, it's a lot. From what I can tell, it's going to be a mini-series called Night Terrors. It'll be Night Terrors First Blood, Night Terrors Night's End, Night Terrors 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that will be the full mini-series thing. And then each DC, like, well-known character and villain, or some villains, will have a little mini-series where it's just dedicated to them. I don't think I'm going to chase down all of these. I think what I'm going to do is get First Blood, Night's End, then Night Terrors 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then get Robin 1 and Robin 2, since that is the story that's featured in the Free Comic Book Day piece. And then the others, I'll just pick them up as I go. If you'll see them, you know, and they're reduced down, got a good price on them. You know, might get Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman since they're on the cover, and just kind of, you know, if I find them in the dollar bin 10 years from now, who knows? I don't know what I'll do with that. But anyway, then this one really excites me. And it just reminds me of those old classic Silver Age Westerns, those Silver and Bronze Age art pieces that I fell in love with this book when I saw it immediately. And I was like, I'm going to start collecting this. And that is from Titan Comics, Conan the Barbarian. Look at that cover. Just, I mean, that's a beautiful cover right there. And the artwork inside is just, it has that classic design, that classic look to it, but it's printed on really good, nice stock paper. And just, I mean, I loved it. I read it, I looked at it, I was like, this is the Conan that I remember as a kid growing up, watching Arnold Schwarzenegger's movies. In fact, they're on Netflix. After I read this comic book, I went back on Netflix and watched both of those movies and just was like, I just got so pumped up. And I'm like, this is going to be something special. Folks, I'm telling you, if you're gonna start collecting a new issue, or if you're a new reader and you're like, I don't know where to start, what I'm gonna do, this right here, folks. This is where you want to start. So that's just my opinion. I picked up some other issues from previous free comic book days. I think last year, I got last year's Spider-Man Venom issue. It was a pretty good little story. I got the Avengers X-Men Eternals Judgment Day from last year. That was a pretty good read. And then I picked this up. This was kind of weird. This is, it's not specifically a free comic book day. I think this was just some comic books that, Dr. Knows Comics and Games. Get that. In Marietta, Georgia. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. Cover up my face. Anyway. I think these are just some that they picked up and just kind of shoved over in the free bin. And they were like, please take as many as you can from, you have all those you want. And I didn't get too many. I got those two right there. And then I got this one. It's Inside the NBA on TNT and Justice League Team Up. Kind of an oddball comic, but, you know, as you've seen on my channel, I love sports. I love sports memorabilia. This was just kind of an intriguing piece. And to be quite honest, it was a fairly good story. Fairly nice written story. So those were the free comic books that I picked up. And so I picked up, as I was going around, making my rounds to the different comic book stores. And eventually I'll get around to doing some videos of my LCSs that I have. I got 3 that I like to go to. And hopefully this summer I can showcase them on this channel. Starting off, I picked up, and most of these I picked these up for relatively cheap. I don't think I spent more than $3 an issue for these. So I got some pretty good deals, I think. Might have overpaid on some. I don't know. But, I mean, it didn't break the bank. My bills are paid. My family's taken care of. You know, I just went and had fun. And the key is I got what I like. I got what I wanted to read and what I like and what I collect. And again, I focus on 1978 to 91. And I really like to get those #1 issues. And I try to pick up some keys as I go along. Starting off, John Burns, The Next Men. Or not The Next Men, just Next Men. Pretty interesting story of these experimental people in a alternate universe world things hidden out in the Area 51 desert or something like that. It was pretty cool. I liked it. I might pick some more of these up. I've seen them in the dollar bins and might read some more issues. I do know issue 21 I'll probably never find. That's like the first appearance of Hellboy, and so people have been going crazy over that. I got this, Legion of Superheroes. Got that for $1. It was a good story. You know, I liked it. It was pretty good. Got this one. This is another #1 that I got. Captain Atom, annual #1. Got that nice cover art with him going up against Major Force. Major Force got him in the headlock. It's like, argh. Captain Atom defeats him. And of course, in the book, we always know the good guys win. This is coming out of November of 1980. The Fantastic Four, Prisoners of the Space Gods. They are on a mission. They see these weird things going on in the sky, and they follow the light and all that good stuff, and get into a situation. So you can read that if you'd like. Let's see. I got this one. This one I was kind of excited about. It's not a key, but I think it has potential to be a key. And that is Marvel Team Up, Spider-Man, and Star Fox. This is Marvel Team Up number 143. I liked this issue. I was just immediately drawn to it because issue 141 is a key because it's the second appearance of Spider-Man in the symbiote black suit. And I just kind of did the math. I'm like, okay, if 141 is the second appearance, 142 might be the third, fourth appearance, and then 143 has got to be around fourth, fifth, maybe sixth appearance of Spider-Man in the symbiote suit. We all know about Secret Wars and how those comics have just shot through the roof. And I just wanted an issue of Spidey in his symbiote suit that wasn't going to break the bank. And for $3, I mean, I picked this up. Kind of a no-brainer to me. So I got this one. This is Marvel Superheroes Spring Special. This was a good read. I liked it. It was a real good read. It's got good classic cover. Got Thor, She-Hulk, The Thing, Doctor Strange, and this guy down here that I hadn't really heard about, Speedball, which is kind of interesting. I'm going to search around and see if I can find some number ones and a few, get a couple of issue runs on that guy. This one I picked up. I went crazy over it. I could not believe this was in the bin. Has anybody ever picked up a nice Silver Age comic for $2? Have you ever bought a Silver Age comic for $2? Well, this guy did. Maybe you have and I'm just overreacting. I don't know. But this, I saw this and I'm like, this cover is beautiful. And it is classic. It's beat to crap. But you know what? I love it. And if I love it, I'm going to get it. And if it's not going to break the banks, $2 or $3, hey, why not and get it? Got the Cheyenne Kid number 59 from December of 1966. This is Cheyenne Kid and the Barbary Coast Showdown. And when I first picked this up, I thought to myself, I was like, this doesn't make any sense. How's an old Western on the Barbary Coast? I was thinking, you know, that northern part of Africa where the Barbary Coast and the Barbary pirates of the old, I think they were, what, 1600s, you know, how's that tied into a Western? And as I read this, I actually learned something new. The Barbary Coast is an area in San Francisco down where the wharf is. And they call that the Barbary Coast. And this is a beautiful, beautiful comic, beautiful issue here to me, anyway. And it is a story of how Cheyenne Kid basically goes on this adventure and tracks this little bad guy down right here to the Barbary Coast of San Francisco. And, you know, he rescues this damsel in distress that's that this bad guy here has toyed with the whole issue there. I mean, a 12-cent comic for $2, Silver Age, I couldn't pass up on it. Also got this, the Phantom Stranger, number 1 from 87. Yeah, October of 87. Haven't read this one because it's a 4-issue miniseries. And I thought to myself, let me get the other three that go with number 1. Pick up issues 2, 3, and 4, read the whole thing, and then, you know, then call it a day on that. Got this one. I remember this one. I read this guy in the Macon Telegraph when I was growing up. That was my big newspaper. The big one that came out on the Sunday paper down in the little town I grew up in called Fitzgerald, Georgia. But he would appear in the Sunday comics every week, and I read this guy religiously. I thought he was just the most baddest, coolest of all superheroes because that ring he had, just pow, he would just leave a mark right on people's faces. And of course, I'm talking about the Phantom. This is the Phantom #1 from March of '89. Phantom #1. I said, look at just the menacing look on that face. He's sitting in his chair, in his little throne room. I love that. Love that cover. Love that character. Incidentally, he was the first superhero, I guess, or comic book character to be drawn without pupils. Don't know if you knew that or not. But see how his eyes are white? No pupils. First one in history. Now, I picked up a couple of keys. The first one is a minor key, but to me, it's a key nonetheless. A key is a key is a key. So, you might not get excited about it, but I did. And that is Captain America #269, the first appearance of Team America, which is, as we all know, the failed toy line of the 1980s that, I can't remember the company that produced these toys, but they employed Marvel. Hey, get us some comics to help sell this toy line. And, well, it didn't work out. There's plenty of YouTube videos about Team America on YouTube. Check them out. But this is the very first introduction of Team America to the comic book world. This is a pretty good story. It also is the first appearance of, I believe it's the first appearance of a character known as the Marauder, who is a black suited motorcycle rider that, from what I can tell, he's kind of undervalued. You know, I'm kind of thinking they might come back and make a little movie or some stories about him and include him into some things. I was thinking maybe take the Marauder and Ghost Rider and team them up and have like a motorcycle crime fighting duo or something. So anyway, that one's free for anybody who wants to do that. So if you make $1 million, hey, just float me alone every once in a while for that idea. And this book I picked up, I was really excited about. I saw it, and I mean, I jumped on it for $3. No way this was going to be left in the store. I was walking out with this sucker. Of course, this is Peacemaker #1, which, from what I could tell, is kind of a hot book. It's kind of increasing in popularity with the HBO Max series starring John Cena as the Peacemaker. These books are picking up some steam, even the ones from the 1960s. But this one I saw in high grade, according to Key Comics, is going for like 18 bucks. Now, I'm not good at grading and all this stuff, and CGC, and I don't know what this book would grade out, but it was pretty good to me. Looked pretty good to me. And again, I haven't read it yet because it's a 4-part miniseries, and I wanted to try to get them all before I read the story so I could have a good idea and good synopsis of it. But this one right here, first appearance of Wolfgang Schmidt, which is Peacemaker's father, and it's the first appearance of Project Peacemaker, which is the task force that was put together to monitor Peacemaker. So those are some pickups that I got that I thought were really cool. And then I actually met 3 artists on Free Comic Book Day. First one I want to show you is this kid, or he's not a kid, he's an adult guy, but he's a young dude, named Christian Herrera. And he's always wanted to build his own comic book and just did a pretty good job. He wrote this story in high school and has always had it and has just waited to pitch it, but just never could find a group to do it. And he finally found a publisher willing to give him a chance, artists, colorists, letterers, designers to help put this book together and bring it to life. It's called Sidekick for Hire. And he autographed it for me right there. That's his autograph, Christian Herrera. And it's a 5-book series. And it's basically about this kid who wants to be a sidekick to a superhero. And he's just desperate to be one. And he runs an ad in the newspaper, and it's like, hey, I'm sidekick for hire, contact me, and all this stuff. And he gets the job, but he's not the best sidekick in the world. And, disaster happens. Anytime he gets in a situation, he doesn't quite know how to handle himself. So that's the whole story behind that. This was really good. I really enjoyed it. You got to give credit to Christian. He tried to sell me the whole series, and I'm like, no, let me try one at a time here. But I know where to get the rest of them, so I think I'm gonna pick them up over the next couple weeks. Then I met this guy. He was at one of my local comic book stores. His name is Keenan Hudson. Keenan Hudson, he's known as Mr. Insane Jeans. And that's the name of his comic book company that he started here in the state of Georgia, called Insane Jeans Comics. And he's come up with a character that he calls the Watcher. But I think, the Watcher, comic book fans already know there's already a comic book series called The Watcher. But I think his is called the Bushido Watcher or something like that. He had to, I guess, give it a different spin on it. But he did a free art piece for me. And I thought he did really good. What do you think about that? I like that. Here's the Watcher's head. His arm and the fist coming out. It's like kind of like this. It's like he's flying into the screen like that. You can tell now and see it. I didn't pick up a copy of this book, but I've read a little bit about it. He's kind of a samurai type kind of guy. Has these big swords in the back, and I mean, it's kind of intriguing. I might finish up a couple other readings that I have before I jump into that and start tracking those down. So, but you might find him interesting. Just check him out. Google Keenan Hudson, K-E-E-N-A-N, last name Hudson, H-U-D-S-O-N, and then type in Watcher, and it'll bring up his page on imprint.com. And, check him out. He was a real nice guy, and, he's deserving of some new readers. And then finally, the last piece I picked up, I thought I was too late. I knew this guy was going to be at one of my local comic book stores, but I thought he was only going to be there from 11 to 1 or 12 to 2 or something like that. So by the time I made it to the store, it was already like 3:30, 3:40, something like that. And I just knew, I'm like, well, he's gone. So missed opportunity, but, it doesn't drive me crazy because you can't get them all. But when I got there he was, sitting at the table, looking at his watch, like, he was packing some things. And like, you could tell he was getting ready to go. I couldn't believe it. I was like, he's still here. Oh my gosh, he's still here. I booked it over to a section of back issues that I knew he worked on. Rifling through that short box, and it was just like, I gotta find a piece that he'll sign that will be nice. Got a good, nice spot for him to sign an autograph. Just rifling through it. I finally found one. Took it to the counter, and I said, oh, it's going to be $8. I mean, this is not a key. Yeah, it was, I think, the best I can tell, it's about a $2 or $3 comic book, but I'm like, I don't care, whatever. So I paid the $8, jumped in line. A guy jumped in line behind me, and right as that guy behind me jumped in line, one of the store owner or manager's workers came up and said, "All right, guys, we're cutting it off. Nobody else is jumping in line. He's got to go." And the artist said, "I'll take care of you guys, but that's gonna be it. I gotta go. I've been here for 4 hours." And I thanked him so much for staying. I appreciated him. I just thank you so much. And he didn't have to stay, but he did. And I'm so very thankful to add this to my comic book collection. A signed copy of The Amazing Spider-Man number 368 by none other than Mr. Mark Bagley. I was just in shock that I was able to get him. I could not believe it. And there he is. He signed it right there. I thought he was gone, but he wasn't. He hung around just a few extra minutes to, bless me with his autograph and spend a little bit of time with me and the other guy behind me. And it just wrapped up a wonderful day of comic book hunting. So that's it. That's my free comic book haul and my free comic book day story. Sorry it's a month late, but guys, I've been so busy. I've been busy. But hope you like this video. As always, like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. Till next time, y'all take care now. Have a good one.